What's going on, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Profit Picks. If you are new, we always start the show by being transparent. Yesterday was a nice bounce back day, almost a sweet. It's sad that the one loser was the $5 Tuesday play. That just sucks. But overall, it was a good day. I went 8-1. The loser was the first half under in Houston and Minnesota. Other than that, Heat minus 3.5 was good. The Heat game over was good. The Utah game over was good. I made that bet after marketing was made rolled out. LeBron over 12.5 rebounds and assists was good. Rui over 7.5 points good. Buddy over 8.5 points. I think that was the best bet for this show. That was good. Brooke Lopez under 2.5 rebounds. I did get there with that was good. And Champagne over 5.5 rebounds was good. So 8-1 day. That is a bounce back that I was looking for there, Rob. Good to be back with you. How you doing here today?
8-1. I thought I was doing good at 6-2 yesterday, but 8-1 is exceptional. Good work out of you. I had 2-0 in the NBA. We did drop the Bulls team total over as a best bet yesterday here on the show. That got there rather easily. They got back to walkers and tennis balls like I thought they might for that one game. The Clippers did, and the Bulls were never in doubt. We came back with that Kings Heat game, full game over. We both discussed it pretty thoroughly. Made a lot of sense. College hoop was a really good day as well. 4-2. I won't list them all because we want to get to this show here, but yeah, college basketball continues to be on a really, really good roll here, Skee, since the 1st of December. So happy with the way things went yesterday.
All right, let's see if we can find some more of that money on the slate for today. I think we have about 7 games again. Um, so we'll start at the top. Cavs and Hornets. This one opened up minus. I don't know about this opener I'm seeing right here because I'm pretty sure I saw 2.5. But it looks like 3.5 now. Total open 236. Looks like 237.5. Injury report: there will be no Garland. There will be no Sam Merrill for the Cavaliers tonight. No Max Strus either for the Hornets. Salawan probable. Man questionable. Plumlee and KJ Simpson are both out. Um, this is a Hornets team who's had a couple of days off, but they were just on a pretty long road trip here, Rob. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 game road trip. They return back home here tonight after 2 days off, facing a Cavs team who was just blown off the earth by the Thunder, 104-136. Curious how you see this one shaking out.
Well, I tell you the truth, I wound up being conflicted here because the other day you brought up a little bit of a notation on the Cleveland Cavaliers season, how when they get blown out, they generally respond. That would lead you to, and they did that day. You mentioned it. The Cavs did respond in a big way. I wanted to get to Charlotte because they've been so good lately, 3-2 on that West Coast road trip, which Miles Bridges made a big deal out of. He said he hasn't been on the Hornets when they've ever had a winning record off of a West Coast road trip. That team's playing with a little bit of confidence right now, which makes me want to get to Charlotte. However, even with the day off, it is first back off of a 5-game road trip. We'll have to see how they handle that. The Cavaliers' injuries are bothersome, Ski. The fact that it's that trio, it's Garland, it's Merrill. And how about Coach Kenny Atkinson? When he was asked about what they have to do better, he said, we need to get Sam healthy. Didn't say Darius Garland. He said, we got to get
Yeah,
Sam healthy.
they don't
Big
have a good
deal,
record
Sam.
without Sam. I think they're like 8-12.
And he's that beyond the arc presence, that shooting presence that they need to have in there. Donovan Mitchell has since, pretty much taken over, high score almost every game. Did have a bad game his last time out. So if there's a bounce back effect here for Donovan Mitchell, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know. I can look at this and I could make a play from both angles. I really would like to get to Charlotte because they seem like a team united. Reading these quotes, they like each other. They're playing hard for each other. There's no real drama in that locker room whatsoever. And you like teams like that. +3 at home could be enough, but I fear that Cavalier bounce back um, trend that they've had this season. So, not much on the total here and not much on the side either, just because I want to play Charlotte, but I just can't get there with them yet at +3.
Yeah, I think first of all, to what you said about Merrill, he has been extremely important to this Cavaliers team. As I mentioned, they're 8-12 without him, and it's the spacing that he provides. That that shooting. So I like Jalen Tyson over 15 and a half points. That's the person who's gonna have to step up and hit some of those shots. I mean, he's shooting like 40, above 45% from three this season, and he's been playing well lately. Yeah, I like Jalen Tyson over 15 and a half points. Definitely without Garland, without Merrill out there tonight. Other than that, you know, I talked about, I feel like, was it versus Sixers maybe? It was off of a loss on the road or something like that. Like you said, it's been there, what they've been doing all season long, that bounce back. Um, I can't, I like a good flat spot, Rob. Hornets, they've been playing so good. They did, they so happy they finally had a winning West Coast road trip.
Right.
They just exhaled tonight. I don't know. I think the Cavs are the right side in this game, Rob. Cavs would be my preferred look if I'm picking a side. Anything from the chat before we move on? Let's see. I don't have anything on this, Rob. I don't want to talk about it. But if you want to talk about asking you about the one big beautiful bill act of 2025, I have nothing I want to say.
Interesting. I would have to read into that. I didn't know it had any gambling repercussions or sports betting repercussions. Yeah, I'm not sure. We've got guys that wager talk. You could probably ask that question to and get an immediate answer. Um, but
Not
I think
here.
Skee and I spend we spend into the middle of the night, at least on the East Coast here. I spend till 1:30, 2 a.m. every morning watching hoop or football. And this other stuff is secondary to me. So I'm not sure I have a good answer for that.
Yeah, I don't watch politics. I don't watch the news. Uh, I know what you're talking about, but somebody else can give you a better answer than I can. Let's see. Appreciate that, Gio. Yeah, I don't think I talked about it with you here, Rob. About the LeBron. I think I figured it out after we talked. What people are giving me some props for that LeBron angle because I felt pretty strong about it after I saw some numbers. But we'll talk about it soon in the future. All right. Next game up, Pacers and Celtics opened up minus 11 and a half and is down to 10 and a half or 11. Total open 226 and a half and is down to 226. Injury report, we have Mathurin topping out. For the Celtics, we have Brown and Manat. I'm sorry, Brown probable, Manat out. Um, yeah, I think this is one that I'm not going to get involved with. I do have quite a bit of plays here. I thought about Pascal. He's been playing well. I think he can take advantage here, but ultimately, I did not get involved. Anything here from you, Rob Veno, Pacers, and Celtics?
Yeah, I kind of like the Celtics Ski. One of the reasons why is because 9 days ago they lost to this team. Can't be losing to the Pacers, 98-96. So it's a quick enough turnaround 9 days for Boston to remember this. They're off of that 104-103 against Detroit the other day. I tell you, Boston showed a little bit more in the way of physical presence than I probably gave them credit for because Detroit's becoming known around the league as an extremely physical team. There were some comments after the game by Jaylen Brown about how physical they are, and you have to match their intensity. But Rick Carlisle, I don't know, Skee, if to me, this is the sign of a sinking ship. Not that it hasn't sunk already, but he usually gives, and this could be classified as one of them, those kind of rah, rah, we're doing the best we can type quotes. It says this team's battled all year long with a big deficit of talent, with a lot of guys hurt and stuff like that. Last couple of years, this team is committed to a standard for playing hard and a commitment to a team, and we haven't wavered from that. I'm not so sure. I mean, this team just doesn't have enough guys at this point in time. They had the ball stolen from them 18 times the other day. You can't have the ball taken from you 18 times. This isn't, third grade lunch where the same kid gets his lunch taken every day. You got to be able to handle the ball. And Carlisle mentioned it, that they have to be better with the ball. I think Boston's going to come ready here to play. They've been playing really well. I think they have a sour taste in their mouth from that loss 9 days ago, and probably want to get back on the floor after losing to Detroit. They've been playing well recently. I see some 10.5s out there. A lot of 11s, but some 10.5s if you shop it right. I think Boston gets the job done here by margin.
Very good stuff on that. Um, let's see. Tommy likes J Huff over 14.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Say centers dominate against the Celtics. Says a system play for him. Says Huff just had 25 points, rebounds, and assists 10 days ago against the same team. Appreciate you sharing that. Definitely will take a look into that. Nets and Knicks. This one opened up minus 11. Looks like 11.5 or 12, depending where you shop. Total came all the way down from 226 to 221. Injury report. Looking at the Knicks, I don't see anybody on there. For the Nets, Highsmith is out. The Knicks, I mean, they've been ass, Rob Veno. There's no way to sugarcoat it. They've lost, I think, 9 of their last 11 games. They've held a players only meeting now. Is that going to be enough to right the ship? I mean, this is a Nets team I think they've had very little trouble taking care of. Do you think they take care of them tonight?
I know that you've said that the Wizards have no interest in winning games. I don't know. Brooklyn, I read something this morning that said the Brooklyn Nets are well into draft prep mode right now. That could just be because their record stinks. That could be because they know they're not going to win games. But the most important piece, Skee, of this whole thing is what Jason Hart had to say about his team. He talked about the players only meeting. He talked about how since the cup, they've pretty much been lousy. But Jason Hart said we have to go out there and find a sense of urgency. At this point, 40 games into the season, normally you don't put much into struggles because there's highs and lows. But at this point, we have to play desperate because that's where we're at right now. We all need to do some soul searching, some looking in the mirror. Right now, we're playing embarrassing basketball. We're not executing on the offensive end. Defensively, we've been abysmal. We've been a terrible defensive team all year long. Lots of times when you read that, and I know you said it before, that makes me think, Rob Veno, that they're going to play some defense here. But I don't know. Are they capable of just flipping the switch and playing defense tonight? Maybe because it's Brooklyn. Maybe if they're that fired up. But, man, they got run out of the gym by Dallas on Monday, and that's kind of frightening here. I get what Hart's saying. I would like to get behind it, but in order to get behind it, you have to lay 11.5. I'm not so sure I'm ready to lay 11.5 with a team where one of their own and he's like one of their best defensive players saying that they stink on that end. We'll see. This might be one isolated incident where they do play really good defense. I did take a look at the Brooklyn Nets team total with a thought of playing it under 103.5. Is that number? Are the Knicks good enough to hold them to 103 or less? Maybe, but I'm going to have to watch and see tonight.
Yeah, if I'm picking a side, it would be the Knicks. As bad as they've looked, I'll be trusting them after they, talked about it and got embarrassed again, got booed on their home court. I would only pick them in this game. But I do think I agree with the total coming down, and I think the Knicks do play a lot better defense today than what we've seen from them, you know, for the past month or so. All right. Next game, Pistons and Pelicans. Opened up 7.5. Looks like 9.5 here. Total open 237.5. It's down all the way to 230.5. Cunningham is questionable. Levert is questionable. And this is still going up. That's crazy. Zion questionable. Alvarado questionable. Herb Jones out. Yeah, this is a game. I'll just not waste anybody's time. I don't even want to talk about this game, Rob Veno. So if you have anything for them, I'll let you have this one.
No, I'll just quickly say what I've said about Detroit all season long. They want to win every game For me, it would be Detroit or nothing. I will add one just a slight outside thought here, Ski, that Tobias Harris, just his career, very good third piece with the Clippers, goes to Philadelphia. For some reason they didn't accept him. James Harden wouldn't pass him the ball, winds up in oblivion, not even a really key component. Here in Detroit, third leading scorer on the team once again, which is what he is. He's a good third piece. And Cade Cunningham raving about how professional he is and how great it is to have that guy on their team. So I don't know what went wrong in Philly, but certainly Tobias Harris adding a lot of veteran leadership and point production. I would play Detroit or nothing here just because I know they're going to play all 48 minutes.
Fair. I'll move over to Hawks and Grizzlies, where I do have a stronger opinion. It opened up -2 for the Grizzlies. I see 1.5 everywhere. Total has gone up from 234 as high as 239.5. Looking at the injury report here, Porzingis out, Shea out, Aldama doubtful, Clark, Edie, Jerome, Pippen all out. This Grizzlies team, they've had a couple days off before this game, but we know they've done some traveling, some sightseeing, maybe some partying. Who knows? They have had a couple of days off, but man, I don't know, Vino. I just don't. Just because they're at home, I don't think this is a good spot for them. The Hawks, I know that they've lost 4 games at least in a row. I think they're going to come into this one pretty hungry and not jet lagged. So I think the Hawks are the right side here tonight, Rob Vino. Also, the Grizzlies, not very good defending above the break three. I can see Nikhil. Um, I can see Nikhil Alexander Walker having a big night. I see the Hawks putting up a lot of points, so I can understand why this total has gone up as well. Which way are you looking at Hawks and Grizzlies?
Well, immediately, without even doing any handicapping, I wanted to play Hawks simply because of the Germany trip. Memphis was there for a while. Those games were spaced out so long, like they played in the afternoon one day, then they wait 4 days and play again at nighttime and come back home. It's about a 6 hour, 5 or 6 hour time difference over there. So I wanted to get to Atlanta, but then I started looking into the game and I started reading these quotes about Ja's return to the lineup. And I mean, it's as if this team is 0-0 and starting, or 1-0 and starting the season all over again. He came back in that second game. He played really good. But the players and the coach, the way they rave about Ja Morant after that game, head coach Tomas Isolo, his energy is contagious. He did a great job quarterbacking the team, setting up other guys for success early in the game. He pushes pace. He shares the ball. It snowballed into a great team effort. It gives this group a ton of confidence as we go back. Ja's been one of those guys who's carried the energy in practice. He's been very good. I'm super happy to see him out there. And then Morant goes on to say, because the other thing I was bothered by, Skee, is the trade talks that involve him. And would he really care? He had a quote where he said he's extremely loyal. Grizzly tattoo on my back. I don't want to be leaving. That's up to management, really. But he wants to stay. I don't know. If he comes to play, it kind of scared me a little bit because Atlanta's not playing well right now. So I didn't play the game either way. I could understand the move in the total because I think there'll probably be points here. As good as Ja's return may have been and as uplifting as it may be to this team, as if they've gotten a new fresh start on the season, they still don't play really good defense. So 239.5, I think that total is accessible here. Haven't played it, but that would be my best look over 239.
We're in agreement on the total. Grizzlies, hey, they go 1-1, and they gotta do it, start all over again. After that, it'll be okay, Rob.
Yeah, we can start the season now. We're good. It's
All right.
crazy.
Thunder and Bucks. This one opened up -9. Is down to. I'm sorry, it's up to 9.5 or 10. Total open 228, and that's down as low as 225. Caruso, Hardenstein, Aaron Wiggins, J Dub, Jalen Williams. Topic all out for this Thunder team. For the Bucks, you have KPJ, Miles Turner, both questionable. Taurean Prince out. Um, you know, a lot of people missing for that OKC side. Think there's some extra buckets to be had somewhere around there. Not mad if you want to look at well, actually, I, I'm gonna just tell you, I bet Lou Dort over 8.5 points. Um, the one thing, how does Lou Dort score? He's gonna go out and just really just spot up for the most part. He might have some cutting, might go to the basket a little bit, but he spots up a lot. Milwaukee's not good against above the break three. So Lou Dort's been really good on the road as well. I like Lou Dort over 8.5 points tonight in Thunder versus Bucks. Vino, what do you think about this one?
I kind of lean toward Milwaukee plus the points based off of the OKC massive number of injuries right now. But those injuries really didn't come into play Monday when they scored 136 against Cleveland. I just don't know that they could sustain that level of offense. A lot of guys out here. And one thing I think we need to take note of starting today, Glenn Rivers, he made a change to the lineup and put Kevin Porter Jr. as the sixth man and moved Kyle Kuzma in to start last game and said that they just needed size. He said, if I have to have size on the floor, I've got to separate my guards. So KPJ goes to the bench and comes off as sixth man, which he seemed fine with. He played pretty well in that game, still got 28 minutes. But Kuzma, Giannis, and Miles Turner with a couple of AJ Green and Ryan Rollins at guard, that lineup kind of worked on Monday. It beat the Hawks. CJ McCollum had a chance to tie that game, I think, in the end, but missed the shot. So I'm going to give the Bucks a little bit of a closer look as far as their games go, just to see how this bigger lineup goes and how the rotation goes. I think maybe 9.5 is a little too much. One other thing to say here really quick is ever since Milwaukee beat OKC in the Cup, Oklahoma City's absolutely whacked that team. I think they've got 3 straight wins, all by double digits. So if you're just looking at matchup, and I didn't go to the depths of seeing how many times Giannis may or may not have been inside the lineup during those games, but OKC took that Cup loss personal a couple of years back, and has beaten Milwaukee ever since. I think the Bucks plus 9.5 might be the right side here.
All right, last game, Raptors and Kings opened up -4. Looks like 5.5 for the Raptors. Total open 222.5 and is up as high as 226.5. You have RJ Barrett, CMB, Jakob Pertl, Jacoby Walter, all questionable. For the Kings, Keegan Murray is out here. Um, both teams did play last night. Wait. The Kings played last night. Yeah, the Kings played last night too. Versus Miami. I won on that game. I had to get the Heat and the over. So both teams on the back-to-back in this one. I'm gonna go to DeMar DeRozan. He's been playing well lately. He just scored I think like 23, something like that last night. He's averaging around 22.5, going up against his former team. Just asked to get 19 plus tonight. I think that's a solid ask. I know you'll get the effort from him versus the Raptors. So that's how I choose to play it. Anything from you here, Vino, Kings and Raptors?
Yeah, this was the game I love the most. When it comes time, we go to best bet segment. I'll just repeat this one over again, but I played over. It's 226.5. It'd have to get to 246.5 for me to stop thinking about playing over. I know last night, when you're going with Scotty Barnes at center, they were so fast last night. All guards and wings. That's all they have. We talked a lot about Pirtle not being available for rim defense. It's been a while since Pirtle hasn't been a factor. But that lineup last night, when I watched against Golden State, I was like, dear Lord, it's just Greyhound basketball. And Sacramento, for what it's worth, Doug Christie did a pretty good job managing minutes last night. Nobody played a lot for Sacramento. In fact, he took some criticism in that game for leaving Zach LaVine on the bench. Second half, I think LaVine only saw the floor for 7 or 8 minutes, I think was the grand total. So they had, including Sabonis, who, of course, coming off injury, played less than 17, but they should be fresh. They have no problem running. It's still a bad defensive team. I think Toronto's just going to run again. Same lineup, same style. It put up 145 last night. That game got to 272. I was a little taken back watching it, thinking, "Wow, this team is super fast." So, if they're going to go with Scotty Barnes at center, not only do they play super fast, but the next thing on the other side is he's not stopping anybody from getting to the rim. As good as he is defensively, he's not a rim protector. I like these two teams to get up and over. I think it'll probably climb a little higher, Skee. So I got in at a little better number earlier this morning, but still, I think there's plenty of room at 226.5.
Great, good stuff, Rob Veno. That's going to wrap up the NBA slate for today. So, before we move it over to best bets, let's toss this up there. I'm pretty sure this is still good, Rob Veno. 7-day all access for $69. That's 7 days for the price of three. You get all sports, NBA, college basketball going. I know, well, I'm not sure if Vino does hockey, but yeah, you still have NFL coming up this weekend. I know college football is over, but still a lot going on over here at Wager Talk. So that is a good way to get involved. Vino, I'm going to pass it to you and ask you if there's anything else you would like to promote. And if you have, a best bet, we'd love to hear it. If you don't worry about it.
Promotion, I think you covered. Hockey, that triggered a thought in my mind, Ski. I remember we talked about the green room on Spotify last week, I think. And the first time I ever heard you talk hockey, it was like Larry in there giving all these hockey
Yep.
bits. I'm like, man, I
Yep.
think I'm going to turn to Ski for hockey advice now. um, and then I saw the Australian Open on overnight, and I'm thinking maybe I should text him and see if he's got anything in tennis. Um, but for me, best bet's going to be the Sacramento Toronto over. I just think that fundamentally it sets up as a fast paced game. Both teams can make shots. Minutes were good on Sacramento's side. They should be good to go. And Toronto, wow, they look like they could get 130 again tonight. So give me Toronto Sacramento over 226.5 is best bet for the show.
Good stuff, Rob Vino. For myself, I will promote that I have a 5% play going tonight. So if you would like to be involved, you know where to find it over at Wager Talk. And my best bet I will leave for the show. We'll go with we'll go with we'll go with logic a little bit here, Rob.
All right.
Cavs missing some shooting there with Sam Merrill. They need somebody to step up. We're going with Jalen Tyson, over 15 and a half points. He's the best shooter out there on the court tonight for the Cavaliers. And they're desperately going to need his spacing going up against a 3-point defense that's not great. So Tyson over 15 and a half points will be my best bet for the show. Vino, as always, I appreciate you taking the time to break these games down with me. I always want to let you know how much it helps my process. I'm sure it helps everybody else as well. See this comment right there. It says the breakdowns are appreciated. Everybody else out there in the chat, we appreciate you too. If you enjoyed the show, hit the like button for us. Leave a comment. Definitely helps out the show. We'll be back again tomorrow. So best of luck, everybody, on all your action, and we'll catch you all then.